welcome to our next episode of Feral and Fabulous. I have the most fabulous guest again today is Karen Dietz with KD Interiors. And I'm so happy to have you on the podcast. And I've been looking forward to this forever because we actually were supposed to shoot your episode quite a while back, but somebody got a little verklempt and we're a little under the weather.
A little
and
nasally.
So little nasally and wasn't able to come. So I was just thinking, and I know we were talking earlier, we have known each other since how long?
Since the 1900s?
Since the 1900s, yes. Since the 1900s. And I believe that was it the year 2000? Or no. You're right.
It was the 1900s.
No, you're right. It was the 1900s.
99?
You're 100% right because Jackson, you just reminded me, Jackson was born in 1998. And I remember when you designed the first house that I ever bought in Elm Creek, and you did an amazing job. In fact, I was obsessed because you had done the Newmark model that I was just literally like, it was just the coolest thing I had ever seen. And I just became, obsessed with it. And so I had asked you to come over and help me with, the design on the Elm Creek house. And Jackson was a little kid and he was running around. And I think he probably was a year and a half or something like that. And literally, I think you did what was it? Was it a plane? It was either, a train. Was it trains around or it was some race cars? Race
Yeah,
cars.
it might have been race cars.
I think it was race cars around his room. So it was super cool. And of course, he loved it as a kid.
Yeah.
So
and
tell
the
me.
funny thing is that we're back in design, some of those colors and trends from that era.
That is exactly what I was going to ask you. I'm serious. That's one of the questions I wanted to know. So go back to the 1900s when we first met, and what was in back then, because I remember in that Elm Creek house, we had like the gold, remember, I think it was actually, is it called brass or gold back then? I don't remember, but it's
probably brass back then. But
so all the hardware was brass in that house. Gold, and then I'll tell you, I still remember the paint color that
alligator hair.
It was. Oh my God, I can't believe
it was like a bright green.
Oh my God. I was obsessed with that color. It's still to this day, probably one of my favorite colors that I have ever done in a house, alligator pear. And I think it was was it ICI? It
might have been ICI.
I think
Monarch.
I think it was ICI, and I think that we got it off of Blanco. Anyway, from a ICI store.
And I think we had some animal print and stuff like that.
Yes, no, we
which
did.
Which is now making a comeback or has
really?
been. Yeah.
So tell me, so some of the colors and things that you did in that home, fast forward to, 25, 26, well, more than that, 27 years later.
Right.
What's
we're kind of trending in fashion and design and everything, the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think back to Friends.
Yes.
And the high-waisted jeans and the crop tops.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of stuff is kind of trending.
Okay, so tell me.
So design and fashion, they kind of go hand in hand. So
do they?
Yeah.
Because, so in other words, what you see as to what people are wearing, there's also a relationship to the design in a house?
Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it usually comes out in fashion trends before it comes out in design trends.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it's easier it's less expensive to get into that trend than it is to get into a trend in design.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes 100% sense.
You usually kind of see it in that before you see it in design.
So are you kind of watching the runways, so to speak? Are do you pay attention to that and say, okay, if this is on the runway this year, are you then kind of like fast forwarding to
colors, probably, maybe color trends, yeah.
Like what?
I mean, we obviously, we can't wait for the color of the year to come out and all those kinds of things.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
we're all kind of disappointed this year, but
yeah, tell me. Do tell. I want to hear. What is the color of the year?
Goodness, I don't remember. Pantone's was a shade of white, which we're trending very much away from white, so that was kind of surprising. And then,
are you kidding me?
No, and I believe Sherwin-Williams was like
that's like
charcoal.
the negative color of the year, or whatever.
Yeah. I think Sherwin-Williams was like a charcoal. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or anything.
No, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. So some of the other ones were more in line with what I thought we were kind of trending towards. The top one is usually Pantone.
Okay.
And Sherwin-Williams is big as well.
Of course.
So
love me some Sherwin-Williams.
They were very good base colors.
Yeah.
I guess, obviously neutrals
Of
with
course.
a charcoal and a white.
Yeah,
but,
but interesting.
Yeah, and whites are going creamier. We're not doing the
Stark.
the stark white and black like from the farmhouse trend.
Right.
The whites are going creamier. The black is softening, or even a brown at this point.
Right.
A copper tones
Right.
and burnished bronze, stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The gold has been super popular for a long time, and I feel it's going to start making maybe an exit, or it's just going to start getting a little bit more antiqued or bronzy, or because if we're trending towards the warmer tones and the bronzes and things like that, the brown colors, obviously the bronze works better with that than
so maybe
than
the luster's
harsh
off
black.
the rose a little bit with the bronze.
Yeah. It all comes full circle, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and speaking of, I remember in the 90s, that burgundy, navy, and hunter green.
Oh,
and
yes.
we are right back there with
Are
the
you
deep.
serious?
Oh, yeah.
With the hunter
deep,
green?
Yeah.
Like,
deeper,
I can't,
even deeper than hunter green.
I can't even.
It's like a deep green, like a forest.
Okay.
And then,
I can't handle. I'm sorry. That's not happening.
and the blue is a little softer than a navy,
Okay.
but it's still a pretty deep blue. And then the green is more of a deeper green, like I said. The burgundy is like an oxblood or like a wine, deep wine color.
Yeah.
But we're kind of back to those jewel tones.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We're back to adding more color.
Okay.
White cabinets, that whole just kind of stark minimalist thing is
that kind of fading?
trending. Oh, yeah. It's
Fading
going
away.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The organic stuff is still in with the curves. It's kind of like the arms of this, lots of curves.
Lots of
organic
curves.
Stuff.
Okay.
That's still in.
Okay.
Florals are back.
Really?
If you loved florals.
What about pastel florals or not so much?
Well, florals meaning a pattern.
A floral
the
pattern.
flowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess you're kind of seeing that actually, kind of to your point, you're kind of seeing that in fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got my burgundy boots on.
Yeah. No, super cool.
Yeah.
I did not realize the connection between fashion and design.
Well, that you start going back to the colors in the Sherwin Van Dyck or where, whoever you're using, that you were picking in like late 1900, early 2000s.
Yes. The
like
1900s.
I even saw Killam Beige the other day, which
my gosh. I can't
we
even
haven't
tell
seen
you
Killam Beige in like forever.
how many homes over the years have, especially in the 90s, did we do Killam Beige?
Oh, yeah.
Like
And
literally
that Tuscan
that's
era
all my
from the
painter
2000s,
carried in his
all
truck
those
was Killam Beige.
ochres and
Yes.
golds and all those.
Yes.
Yeah. We're not quite going that extreme.
Understand.
As far as the warmth goes.
Yeah.
But the warmth is definitely making a comeback.
Yeah.
And floors as well. Like we were in that white oak trend for a long time with the farmhouse feel.
Right.
The riffs on white oak. We're now kind of leaning into walnuts and darker tones.
Okay, cool. Which I love. You know me. I love me some dark stuff.
Yeah.
I like
Moody.
that. I love Moody. Yeah, I'm very moody. I love. I literally, I think I was a vampire in a previous life. I'm
I
not
believe
sure.
it from your TV watching list or movie watching list.
Absolutely. Not only that, I think when you've done all the design work for all the different houses over the years, and I definitely like a little moody, kind of little
you
dark.
always reference a Twilight house.
I do. I'm obsessed. I'm a weirdo, I've even gotten my granddaughters, they're obsessed with Twilight too. So we're all in the Twilight era. It will never not be the Twilight era in our house. And so I do like all that. Is it called color washing? And I love that.
Color drenching.
Oh, color drenching. Mm-hmm. Okay. I love color drenching.
Where the whole room,
yes,
instead of just like an accent wall, like the whole room, the trim, the doors, everything is like one deep dark color.
Like I love the darkness. Yeah. And I know so many people are like, they have seasonal affective disorder or something like that, where they have to have the sun or they get really weird. Yeah. I do know it's a thing. I've had several clients and friends that have actually had that. But in my case, I actually had the opposite. If I don't have enough kind of like dark, cozy, thus the podcast room, and the color select you see, this is a throwback this is actually a throwback to my office in Keller Williams on Blanco Road, like circa early 2000s, and I had this like the same color in my whole room and with no windows, which I just love.
What is the name of this one?
I don't know, it's like eggplant or something like that. I don't remember the official name,
purpley.
But it's a deep, it's like deep purple. But I love I love me some dark, moody kind of stuff. And so, talking about kind of a throwback to the 1900s, tell me a little bit.
That's going to make me laugh every time.
I know. Tell me a little bit about, I know you described that, in design, everything's coming full circle. So tell me, what doesn't come full circle? In other words, what do you see, like what was happening then that is happening, that's not happening now, or that's happening now that is a shift? Like there has to be some things, even though everything eventually comes full circle, like what new ventures are we going on in the fashion world, if there's any? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it always comes back slightly different.
Yes.
It has like a nod to it. Like it's that color palette, but it's a little bit deeper.
There's a twist.
Yeah. Or, layering is real popular right now.
Can you talk about what layering is?
Being popular in the late 90s.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
But can you describe what
a lot
layering
of pattern
is?
on pattern.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So like you could have a floral and like a checkered something and have them to be together?
Yeah, but not even that. You could have a floral with another floral. Like you could.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like your artwork has some floral in it with a flower wallpaper or something. Or you've got, it's just a lot of layering of different patterns and textures.
Like you could have
the
big
checkerboard
florals.
is back as well. Like that,
oh, is it?
Yeah,
Checkers?
like the two different color tones in the floor, where you've got the diagonals. 'Cause,
Yeah.
we were in that 12 by 24 tile world for
yeah.
long. Well, now it's all going back to squares again.
Is it? Okay. What size
And
squares,
I guess they're a little bit more sophisticated of a look maybe
Okay.
in some of it. Marble's super popular still.
Is
just
it?
all the veining and all the
With what kind
patterns.
of finish?
You mean like polished or
yes,
matte?
yes, as in matte or
it's actually
shiny
some
or
mixing of mattes and polishes. Like
Really?
there's a lot of mixing, and we're still in mixing metals as well.
Okay. How
Not
about
having the
granite?
same. Quartzite is probably outshining granite.
Okay.
And marble is still very popular. The problem with marble is that it's not as durable.
Yeah.
Quartzite is a very hard material.
Yes.
But it kind of mimics the feel of a marble.
Yeah.
So you get kind of the best of both worlds.
Right.
And then, of course, there's always quartz. We were in that quartz phase where it was all white with the veining.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's on its way out. But even just more patterned and veining and colors and deepness and all of that rather than that white background with the veins.
Tell me this, and I remember back from the first house you ever did for me in the 1900s, in the kitchen, in the ceiling, it was a metal ceiling. What would you describe that as? And it had texture to it as well. Yeah. What would you?
Was it just? I'm trying to remember.
No,
was it 10? Was it?
Yes, it was 10.
Yeah.
It was 10. I call that a metal.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Hopefully 10
it was
is a
like
metal.
That old school like.
It was rustic, kind of like
pressed tin.
Pressed, okay, there you go. Pressed tin, and it had a pattern.
Yeah.
And it had some, what do you call it? Not depth, but just
because it was a pattern, so they like pressed it into it.
Yes, yes. And so, do you ever see that? That was obviously
not to that extreme, but yes, we are getting into
I wonder if that
a little
house
bit
still
more
has
of a
that.
distressed. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more of Shabby Chic coming back.
I love Shabby Chic. That's my era.
Yeah.
I love Shabby Chic. I definitely
antiques.
Yeah.
Pulling in the things you
know.
love into the house because we've just been so minimalist where we just like just
that's
dump
so
it all
true.
and everything's clean.
Yeah.
And now it's those things that are aged and treasured. And of course, I've always loved those things.
I know you have.
I love to go to flea markets, Round Top and Canton.
My mom, when you and I met, again, I'll say in the 1900s, my mom had passed away. And so
you had your sewing machine.
Yes. Oh my God, you remember that?
Yeah.
I had and I still have my mom's sewing machine. And so you've had to place that in every house, and so, which has always been a challenge, but you've made it work. But what I loved is my mom had owned an antique store. And so I've always had that pull, back to that whole kind of antique. And of course, over the years, like you pointed out, everything's gone minimalistic. And so it's really been hard in some ways to incorporate some of the antiques because people have gotten away from it so much. But do you think that's coming back a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing it obviously in a more modern and updated way. Like you'll mix something antique with something that looks really modern, as long as the same lines, they follow the same curves or lines,
right,
that kind of thing.
Okay,
can definitely mix those two.
Okay,
but yeah, no, I think it's coming back.
Okay, I'm curious to know what's happening on window treatments.
I mean, again, with adding in the patterns and all of those we went to that farmhouse trend where everything was just a simple linen panel or something. Now we're adding in trims. And
right.
Maybe not as severe as like goopy as that Tuscan era.
Yes.
Like it was just like fringe on top of fabric on top of patterns. Do you remember the store Me and My House?
Yes.
And do you remember those collage couches?
Yes.
Where you had like 5 or 6 different fabrics on there?
Absolutely.
That's what you're layering patterns in that way.
Okay.
But not in the furniture necessarily.
Okay.
I haven't seen a lot of it in the furniture, but in like wallpapers are coming back. Like you would have a wallpaper treatment that's got some pattern with a patterned artwork on top of it that just, you just kind of are adding those in different ways. Yeah. So like I said, it never comes back exactly the way it was before.
No, that's true.
But it's the same basic design theories, balance and color and
the same principles.
Yeah. Obviously.
No,
but it obviously always
that
comes
makes
back a little bit
sense.
different.
Well, and I can honestly say I always despised wallpaper until I met you. And I was like, you were like, no, we're going to do this wallpaper. And I was like, wallpaper? I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, it was the border era was bad.
Oh, that was
like
bad.
where we just had the border running around the top of the room.
I still list homes that have the grapes, the grape clusters.
Oh, the wine.
That was the wine clusters, all around the perimeter of the room. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that was awful.
So I'm hoping that doesn't come back.
No, but I have learned to appreciate wallpaper now because you showed me the way that there can be a really cool way to apply wallpaper and have it look amazing. So
I mean, faux finishes are making come back too.
Like
what we did at Montel.
Oh,
well, at Montel Point, people thought that was a wallpaper.
That's true. I did. I think I even asked you. I was like, "What is that?" And you're like, "No, that's wallpaper."
That's faux finish.
No, that's faux finish. I thought it was a wallpaper. So, and I was totally wrong. And that looks beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So, I guess faux painters are coming back now. Yeah. So, no, that's super cool.
And it was out for a long time, all those. It was just really clean, really minimalist.
So what made you decide to go into design? Like, obviously you have a true talent and it's something that's innate in you. How did you recognize that? Or did you kind of know all along, or did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't know all along.
You didn't?
No. I was a teacher for a couple of years.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I taught 3rd and 4th grade.
But that doesn't surprise me, though. I feel like sometimes teachers can be very creative in order to teach other people.
And in teaching, everything's a theme.
Yeah.
Like you start with you're trying to teach something and you like bring in all of these elements that'll get it across to somebody in a different way.
Right.
And I found that design is kind of similar. Like you're just layering in different. You take a theme or an inspiration, and then you just build off of that.
Right.
Which is kind of like teaching.
That's true.
That's just true. In that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think I really knew, like, when I was a stay-at-home mom and I just kind of started, HGTV started to become really popular.
Okay. So you were watching
I started
that.
watching all that. And then, we were looking for a house. So we started going to model homes. And I would just go, I want to do this. This is so beautiful. And
okay.
So then I just decided I was going to go back to school.
Okay. So basically you had been teaching, then you were a stay-at-home mom, and then you kind of saw some things that you thought maybe I could be good at this.
And then I just went back but like you said, you kind of have an eye for balance and colors, or you don't.
Right. I don't. No, I can honestly say after all these years, what I've learned to do is imitate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And now with Pinterest, I mean, with all the things out there.
So the only way, I don't have any skill whatsoever in that regard, but I can look at something and I can, like when you show me, hey, this and this, I can pick and I can tell you what I like and what I don't like. What I don't have the ability to do is what you do, which is this would go with this. This would look great in this space. And I'm just like, oh, I have no idea. Like I have no clue. But yet if I see it done somewhere else, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just imitate that. If I've done something in the past, I can repeat it because I liked it before.
Sure.
So usually I like it again. Not always, but sometimes I can kind of cheat and do that. But I think I have a real appreciation for people that have the talent to actually create in their mind rather than imitate. And I think obviously you can do both.
Yeah.
But
we
I think
incorporate both because we use online, Pinterest. We go out and get inspiration from other designers and
Of
other
course.
things. And
Of course.
not just like copy it right out, but you can.
No, but that's what I'm doing.
You can take the concept.
I'm speaking for myself.
Sure. You can take the concept and translate it into what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So you're
exactly.
not just copying.
Yeah.
But
okay. So tell me, I know over the years you've obviously done so much different design work. Have you ever had the opportunity to do, I know you haven't done it for me because I have not had the budget to allow you to do whatever you wanted. Have you ever had a client that said, I want you to make this the most amazing place you can, and you don't have a budget, basically the budget is whatever you want to use that would make it look the most amazing?
I've had people that pretty much just trust me to do whatever, just this
Whatever
is what
it
I want.
cost.
Just, I don't know that they necessarily balked at the cost that we came up with.
Yeah.
At
So
the
you didn't
end,
really
but-
have a hard and fast.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you ever had where you didn't have this hard and fast budget where you could just kind of like go a little crazy,
Sometimes.
Okay, cool.
But at the end of the day, there's usually always a budget.
Yeah, well, that's true. At some point, even if they don't need to have a budget, probably people will set some sort of limit. I just didn't know if you ever had anybody that went, I don't care what you do, just do your thing.
Yeah, I don't think any of them outright say that because they're afraid.
Yeah, because you would come up with some really cool stuff, and
but
it would maybe be expensive.
You can honestly come up with some cool stuff and not necessarily
Break the
spend
bank.
the most money.
No, that's true.
If
No,
you
that
know
is
how to
true.
make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stretch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's nothing like a run at TJ Maxx to get some of the.
I know, but that's what I do love is that you have no problem with going to a TJ Maxx.
They have some unique things that you could pull into some, mix in some upper end stuff.
Absolutely. It's a combination of factors, right?
Yeah.
No.
You don't always necessarily have to go for the most expensive thing. But a lot of times, like if you give me a choice, a lot of times I do pick the most expensive thing.
And so do most people. What I've learned,
it's what
I have learned personally, that given a choice, I always seem to gravitate to the most expensive thing because it's usually the coolest. But
usually. But every now and then you find a gem that's not.
Yeah, no. I totally
doesn't break the bank.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah.
So for you personally, if you are designing your own property, your own home, what style do you go for?
I am more not super traditional, but I like the antiques.
Okay.
And I like the flea market stuff.
Okay.
And the old school stuff. And I like color. Like I'm not,
yeah.
I have friends that show up in all black or white. Well,
like
you're not always like that. You wear patterns sometimes.
No, I
too.
do.
Like you do both.
No, I do.
very rarely show up in like all black.
Yeah,
or all one color.
I very
It just
rarely,
depends.
actually, this is unusual. It just so happened, I had a crick in my neck. So I had to, when I dressed this morning, I had to get something on that was easy to get
It was on the middle rack.
It was on, yes, it was just all about getting it over my head without,
So did Dave have to come in and assist you?
I had to have a little assistance. It was that kind of thing. So some days it's a matter of, just what's happening with this, with this.
Right. Yeah. So I like color. I'm not afraid of color.
Okay.
Like I usually pull in color.
Okay.
I'm not, a room in my house typically isn't monochromatic, like tonal.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
It usually has some color.
Which me, I do love a little monochromatic stuff going on.
Sometimes it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But it's not what I.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like I could do just about any design that somebody wanted from me.
Right.
And I do love the historic design too.
Yeah.
I love a nod back to like an arts and crafts. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen a lot of that lately.
Well, it's because we're so minimalistic.
That's true.
I mean, we're even coming back, like I've seen stained glass.
Really?
Some leaded glass and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, that's kind of cool. I mean, I vibe with that. So I'm thinking that could be really
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, there's nothing, it just never really dates. Something
Right.
that's truly unique,
Right.
like a piece of art, stained glass or something.
Right. Right.
I mean, just look at the pearl. Just look at all the aged stuff over
No,
it.
that's true.
Hotel
That's really
Inline.
true. Yeah.
That always speaks to somebody.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does.
No, for sure. For sure. Can you tell me, is there a particular style that you find to be more challenging than another?
Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to like, that Swedish, like that IKEA, super, super clean, very modern.
I agree.
It just feels cold to me.
Yes.
But
Yes, but I do agree
it's
with
not
you.
that I couldn't do it if somebody wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I agree with you.
I like more warmth and texture and
right.
movement and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
I agree because I like the cozier feel. I just feel like it is so harsh and impersonal that it's like if that's your home, it feels weird to come home and have it be so harsh and impersonal when it's where you're living.
Yeah.
So I get that. So that doesn't surprise me that that's a hard, a hard thing to work with. How about in terms of clients that you work with? Do you find that there's a big difference in men and women?
Did you just ask that question?
I did. I know. I'm being super not politically correct, probably.
Typically, yes.
I
There
thought
is a difference
so.
between men and women.
Yeah, and I just wondered because obviously a lot of times you're working with both.
Both.
on a project.
Well, when I I have a team of designers. Because
absolutely.
And whenever I interview, I don't warn them, but I'm like, do you have a psychology degree? Because it does take a little bit of, because it's a very, like when two people are buying a house, it's very personal.
Yes.
Combined with spending a lot of money.
Yes. And they don't always have the same.
And they don't agree.
Right.
Yeah.
On anything sometimes.
So
I deal with that
I've
as
had
well.
those moments.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
where
absolutely.
You just kind of.
How do you deal with that? Even whether you have two women, two men, or a man and a woman, and they're not agreeing on what they want, and so how do you
typically you
figure
table
that out?
specific thing?
Yes,
that is like stopping the meeting.
Yes.
You
so
just say,
you just
okay,
put it on the shelf.
Yeah, let's table that. Sometimes if you go home and you talk about it and you sleep on it, you have a completely different insight.
Yeah.
When you come back.
Okay. So that's a way to kind of like get past that
you just
little
have to
road
redirect.
stop. You redirect, and then
that's my teaching background.
Yes. No, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say that they're acting like children, but
no.
Yeah.
But sometimes no, it's the same in real estate,
Sure.
and that's why they say the
It's
three
the
most
emotions.
three most likely careers to transition into being a realtor are a teacher, a nurse, and a wait staff or services,
Service industry.
And so if you've worked in a hotel or if you've worked in a restaurant or something like that, usually you learn to work with people, and so you can help them to get past those little roadblocks along the way.
Yeah, you definitely just have to redirect.
Okay.
And to say, let's get started on this, and we'll revisit that at the next meeting. Because obviously, most of this stuff is not done in one meeting.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah. It's over the course of multiple meetings, right?
I mean, depending upon the size
project.
of the house and then the budget. Yeah.
All that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
No, that makes sense.
It's very much done in several meetings.
Okay.
So you can just kind of let's just
go
to your corners.
Go to our corners, and we will
we'll
talk about it.
Revisit that next time, and let's move on to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. That's awesome. Yeah. One more thing I want to ask you about that I feel like San Antonio is kind of behind the times.
I was just talking about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk a little bit about that, because I hear that we're like the last to get something or whatever, or sometimes we don't even get it.
We're not the last to get it. We're the last to accept it.
Okay. Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
So why is that? What's wrong with us?
I don't know if it's just because San Antonio has a lot of different cultural influences, maybe.
Okay. We're
like
a bit of a melting pot.
We have a lot of that Hispanic
sure
influence in San Antonio.
Absolutely.
And, it's just always going to be popular here. The tile roofs, the stucco,
it's part of our history.
Right. If something's trending away from that, it's just hard to embrace.
It's hard to let it go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say. I guess we're a more down to earth type of. Yeah. We're not super into like Austin's very
high
techy,
fashion. Yes,
and
they're
Dallas is
more
very
high fashion,
and
San Antonio
is
not
military,
so much.
and just kind of
just the facts, ma'am.
Yeah.
We're more practical,
right? Very practical, and
down to earth.
Just,
and maybe the style kind of like
I think it just
goes
takes
along with
a little
that.
while for us to embrace it and accept that it's changing.
Yes,
and it never really fully changes. Like
no. That's true.
You'd be going along and all of a sudden somebody throws you a stucco tile roof with terracotta tile and you're like, okay, let's go.
Here we go. Here we go again. Yeah. No.
That has nothing to do with anything. But, I feel like all cities to a certain degree obviously has that
flavor.
little cultural.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes total
style
sense.
that just trends there no matter what.
No, I'm with you. That's
the trend is. Yeah.
I still love me some sautea tile,
yeah.
as you know.
And those things are classic and they never go away. It's not like you can't take that.
I'm probably one of your only clients, though, that buys an older home with sautea tile that doesn't rip it out, though.
Yeah, I'm the one that comes and tells you not to rip it out.
No, that's true.
Because it's so beautiful.
But I love it.
Sure.
I love it
yeah,
because I grew up with that.
Yeah,
all of our homes. Yeah, all of the homes my dad used to build had sautea tile in them, so it's like going home to me,
Right.
So, cool.
So, I mean, I love classic.
Awesome.
Classic, historical type of design.
No, well,
but yes.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. We're getting ready to start our next segment.
Okay.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we are going to do our next segment with Feral and Fabulous, which is called Feral or Fabulous with Karen Dietz, KD Interiors. So if you will grab your paddle.
Okay.
And I have a few things to ask you about, and you're going to tell me whether you think it is feral or fabulous. Okay.
Got it.
The first one is traveling. Okay, fabulous. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure what you were going to say on that. Yeah, so you like to travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I need my downtime, just staying at home. But I do like to travel.
Okay, you like to travel. You like to travel far? You like to travel in the States or both? Or
I would do whatever. Honestly, I haven't had the opportunity to travel outside of the United States that much.
Okay.
But I just love to see, the people and the cultures and the different tastes and textures and design and
all that.
Like I love, architecture. Going to Chicago and seeing all the old architecture.
Yeah, I can see where that would be really kind of fascinating in your world.
Definitely.
Fabulous. Okay, fabulous. Okay, awesome. Okay, you're going to appreciate this next one, especially after what we just talked about. Vampires. I would say feral. I'm not a vampire. You're not a
person.
vampire. I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
Like didn't mind Twilight. That was like a toned down.
Yes, that was like a vampire light,
right?
if
but
you will.
I had a very imagination when I was little.
Okay, you had a bad experience with a vampire. That was going to scare me.
Just like when I was little, I would see patterns and things that were scary. Like I don't like to be scared. I don't like horror movies. I don't.
You
like
were a designer
blood.
even as a child. You were seeing patterns and
I guess my grandmother had these curtains that were flowers, and I thought they were crazed bunny rabbits.
Oh my gosh!
My mom just looks at me like, okay,
what is wrong with you?
She would send me upstairs to go get something. We were at my grandmother's
and you didn't
house,
want to go in
and I didn't want to go into the rabbit room. And she was like, go get whatever. And I would run so fast up there and grab whatever and run back down like somebody was chasing.
I had not heard this story. Yeah. So, okay.
So I'm not a vampire person.
Okay. I will not have you do any rabbit curtains for me in the future. That will not be on the menu.
Makes me sound completely crazy, but don't we all just have a little bit of crazy?
That's what is it? Fatal Attraction. I kind of like the rabbit in the pot.
Yeah, that was way before that.
I know, but
I don't know why I saw crazy bunny rabbits. But
I'm like, a little scary.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So no vampires for me.
Okay, no vampires. Pasta.
I used to really love pasta, fabulous, but now it's very feral.
Okay,
because it's a carb and
yes, and I know. Well, obviously,
and as we get older, things happen that you have to adjust the way you eat.
Have a lot of meetings with carbs,
Yeah, so I don't do as much pasta as I used to.
Understand.
But I do love.
You love it.
I do like,
but you don't want to
Right.
eat a lot of it.
So I would say it's a
Yes, I understand.
It's a
kind of like
fabulous feral thing.
I do get that. Yeah, no, I obviously partake in it a lot. I know it can be feral. It's not healthy for you,
Yeah.
but I had it last night.
Yeah.
I
Well,
made it at home and it was delicious.
Yeah, I just can't now. Like I have a physical reaction.
I need to turn you on to this new pasta that I just found. That's super low carb and it's called Pete's. I think it's Pete's pasta that is low carb. It's like 7 carbs.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I mean, I'll do a good zucchini noodle.
Yeah. Okay.
Like or cauliflower rice.
No,
now
but this
instead of
tastes just like pasta.
Oh, cool.
It's so good. Yeah.
Right.
I just found it.
I have
So
to get my
anyway,
Yucca app out and scan
it
it though to make
it
sure.
just got delivered like 2 nights ago. So anyway, I'll
Okay.
get you the information on it. Okay. Turtles.
Turtles. Fabulous.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, they live to be like 100 and something.
I know.
How can they not be? Yeah. And when we were down at the coast last time, we went down to, they have the Ridley's. They released the sea turtles down at the Padre National Seashore.
How cool.
And Joe and we drove down there.
Yeah.
And they were having like a turtle release in July that I missed, but I'm definitely going to have to go see. I hear it's kind of sad though, because not all the turtles make it.
Oh, that would make me very sad. I do love turtles. I think I love pictures of turtles, and it reminds me of the beach you and I both love.
Oh, we did the turtle in your beach house, remember?
I do.
I did the turtle. I love turtles.
I do too. I love turtles. That's
Turtley.
why I know it's
What
very
was that?
turtly.
What was that? Saturday Night Live skit? What was that? Turtley?
Turtley, I think it is. Maybe.
Turtle. Sorry. Turtle.
I throw back to our past. Yes. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I love me some
definitely
turtles.
fabulous.
Okay. Canopy beds.
Canopy beds. Again, it's kind of a trendy thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fabulous.
I wondered. Yeah.
Sometimes it's feral. It's
Okay.
fabulous in a room that has high enough ceilings. It's very feral in a room that doesn't.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. It has to be in the right setting.
yeah.
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 Can be fabulous,
I've
but
done
can
them
be very feral.
several times.
Okay.
I mean, we did like a hanging bed in
Oh, wow.
in one of the girls' rooms that had a lot of
Really?
pattern, and we did
wow.
draperies hanging off the sides. It was really
Interesting.
goopy. Like
Yeah.
they can be really goopy and great.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of iffy about some of these.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say done right, fabulous. Done
Okay.
wrong, very feral.
Okay. No, makes total sense. I mean, have you had anybody request a canopy bed? And what's the difference? I mean, a 4-poster bed is obviously that's different than a canopy bed.
Yeah. The
but-
canopy has the top part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The
exactly.
post, obviously 4-poster, it's the post.
And when you said hanging bed, what does that mean? Does
well,
that mean
it was on
the
ropes
canopy
and
hangs?
it hung.
Oh,
it
the
wasn't
whole
really
bed?
a canopy a bed as much as the ceiling made the canopy. You know what I mean?
The ceiling was the canopy.
Kind of. And we had
but
like
the whole bed was like hanging
It was
as
like a
in
swing.
moving?
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
swing?
yeah.
Was that like like the main bed, like in the
Yeah.
primary?
No. It was in a girl's room.
Oh, in a girl's room. I was going to say, but I mean, so you get in your bed moves and
A little bit. It has 4. Yeah.
I know, but in the middle of the night, you get up and your
Yeah,
bed
but
is
it's a
like,
kid.
well, I know,
Yeah.
but
What
still,
kid doesn't want that, or a water bed, or
I don't know. I think that would freak me out.
not like
to
a
be
lot. Like it doesn't swing a lot. but
okay,
yes. Yeah,
I don't know.
But I guess that wasn't really a true canopy bed.
okay,
I've had more people say they don't want a canopy bed than saying they did want a canopy bed.
okay. I grew up I had multiple canopy beds growing up, and of course, I always had to have a purple room, dark purple. You know me and my weirdness. And then I had to have a canopy bed, and of course, it had to have ruffles and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
You know,
And that's what this one had.
yeah,
It had like
I
the
love
curtains
that.
hanging down from it.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of goopy, like
yeah,
anthropology, that
yes. I love
with
that's
all
a
the
good,
textures
Yeah,
and
I love that. Yeah.
ruffles and all
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Had all that on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm excited to hear that that's kind of maybe coming back a little bit. You know,
It could be with
with the
traditional
layering.
aspects
You
and
know,
the
if you're
layering.
talking
Sure.
about that,
Sure.
to
Yeah.
me that seems kind of
Yeah.
like a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Picnics.
Well, I think picnics are fabulous. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm.
Even if you're at a picnic and it starts raining, I mean, you just start howling, laughing, and like pack it all up as fast as you. It's still funny.
Okay, you
like
like-
it's not like it's.
you like.
Well,
a
I like
picnic.
nature. I like to be outside.
Okay.
I like
see,
to hike.
That's where we are very different.
I like to do.
You like to garden.
I like
you
to
like to
garden.
be
I like-
outside,
right.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not me so much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
So
don't.
you're the glamping type.
Yes, and
If you're going to
even-
be out. in the-
No, I don't even like glamping.
You don't even like glamping?
No, not even glamping, because that still requires you to be outside and be in the elements,
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, or even if you're going into, I don't even want to be in one of those. What do they call those? RVs or whatever, like the really fancy ones. I have some friends that are big into RVs, and they like, come look at this. You just think you don't want to be in an RV. When you see ours, you're going to definitely fall in love. And I'm just seeing it, and I'm like, no. I'm like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
I don't want to have anything to do with this.
So I would say picnics are feral for you then.
Very feral, very feral. I have never met a picnic that I liked because it involves, and there's bugs in your food. And I mean, it's just like, and it's just hot and nasty and just, I don't know.
Well, you don't have to go at 100 degrees in August or anything.
But what choice? We live in San Antonio. I mean, maybe if I was going on a picnic in South Dakota or something like that, I don't know. But I don't know. I maybe wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I love them. I think they're fabulous.
Cool. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
loved your
Great
feral
questions.
or fabulous, and I kind of knew. I didn't know every answer that you gave, but I did know.
You kind of had a feeling?
I kind of had a feeling, yes. We've known each other since the 1900s.
Since the 1900s. We're looking pretty good.
Exactly. Definitely. I appreciate it. So, well, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us for Feral and Fabulous, and keep on keeping on.